Hello there, everybody. How are you all doing today? And it's time for Nintendo's E3 press conference for 2006, which I think should be fun.
Yeah.
Begins already. All right, excellent. Megan, I'm not trying to call it out. It's just something I noticed. All right, I'm just saying. Okay. So anyway, yeah, Megan is here. As always, to be fair, she probably doesn't really need an introduction anymore, but we give it anyway. System is uploaded by Cars Lock, who I believe has uploaded a lot of the Nintendo conferences that we've watched.
Yeah, I think so. We've seen a few.
Yeah. So thank you once again to Cars Lock, and shall we begin?
Yeah.
All right. Now, one thing I expect to see is the Revolution officially be the Wii, right? Probably show off some of the motion controls.
Oh, so this is looking fancy already.
It is. Does he? Man, looking really fancy. Yeah, it's the Wii remote. Or the Wii Mote, if you're cool. There you go. Very early version of Wii Music, I see.
Yeah, it seems like it. I didn't realize that would have been a brand new thing. But I guess it makes sense. I just thought it came out a few years later, so it must have got delayed.
It did come out later. To be fair, this might just be like a bit of a tech demo, maybe, even.
I mean, probably. Just him having fun.
Yeah, as he does.
And then we're like, oh wait, we could turn this into a game.
This is already a pretty fun way to start it off, though.
It is, yeah. Woo! Also, I like how you can see he's wearing the strap.
Yeah, I mean, he's gotta be safe. That's interesting.
Oh my god, it's a steering wheel. Oh.
See, this is why out of all the CEOs for these things, I think Miyamoto is the coolest.
Yeah.
Look at him, just having fun up on stage. This one.
He is.
Red Steel.
Oh, Red Steel? Do you think they're gonna show off the little Mario Kart Wii, wheel attachment?
I don't know. I mean, depends when Mario Kart Wii came out. They might.
Because I'll be honest, I don't remember off the top of my head, but I do remember that being kind of a big deal, having the attachment to make it look like a steering wheel.
They probably will. Very nice. Hey, is it he, Reggie?
This week to peek into the future. But if all you want is next generation, you're in the wrong place. Because what you'll see from Nintendo is not just next. Instead, it's what's absolutely new. What we're unveiling is the next leap in gaming to a place where playing is no longer just about looks. It's about the feel.
True.
Where it's no longer confined to just a few. It's about everyone. And most of all, the next leap is not about what you see, because what you see is not always what you get. The next leap is about playing,
Reggie.
Because playing is believing.
Nintendo.
Playing equal believing.
Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Oh, classic. We are here to play.
Yeah. That was a pretty good marketing campaign.
It was. It made the commercials very memorable.
It did.
Oh, Wii Sports. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, a good game. Another good game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, like, this technology, really, really nice. Really neat. Not something you see anymore, really, for good reason. But for the time, it was like, whoa, you know, you move, and that's how you control stuff. It's neat, right?
Yeah, maybe VR, if it gets to be a point where it's accessible, will have that kind of renaissance where it becomes in everything.
Yeah, like, I think motion controls have a place. I just think we got too much of it, and we decided we didn't want any more.
Too much of it, and a lot of it not implemented very good.
Yeah. Hey, Galaxy.
Oh.
So yeah, I think it'll come back.
Oh, I think down!
Oh. But I do think you're right that I think motion controls will kind of come back just because of VR, right?
Yeah.
VR kind of is the future of motion controls.
Yeah, because like if they can get VR to be like a mainstay of a console and a point where it's affordable for people, I feel like we'll get a lot of very interesting stuff like this again.
Oh yeah. Not neat.
Ah, Metroid Prime.
I was gonna say that's Metroid, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Obviously, you don't feel quite that into the game, but you know.
I was gonna say, you don't have to go that far, but you know, maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
Oh. Oh, WarioWare?
Yeah, that's WarioWare. I always forget WarioWare had like Wii games. I don't know why, because like it's perfect for it.
Yeah, I think when I played WarioWare, the one I played would have been on the Wii. Get good! Hey, home run!
So I'm trying to see if they're showing the strap. I'm not seeing the straps on them.
Yeah, that might have been kind of a late addition, to be fair.
I don't know, because you said Miyamoto had it on.
Yeah, but I mean, like, in terms of when they film these commercials, right? They probably did this before they finalized that part.
Maybe. Yeah, you're right, because I'm not even seeing it, like, on the Wii Remote.
Yeah.
Or the Wiimote, if you want to be cool about it. Zelda.
Yeah.
Traveling in Zelda. Yeah, I kind of like how Twilight Princess was in that really weird, like, period of, like...
Yeah.
Like, it's a Wii game, but it was also released on, like, the GameCube, right? Really strange. Or at least I always considered Twilight Princess a Wii game.
I would say it's a Wii game, too. Like, it did get released on GameCube, but, like, a lot of the mechanics of the game are kind of designed for motion control. But it's also in kind of a weird spot too, because it's just like, oh, you can play the GameCube version of the game and play it with a controller, or you can get the HD version and play it on the Wii U and still play it like the Wii version of the game.
Yeah, honestly, everything marketing with the Wii was like on point too. Like even the logo. With,
Yeah.
like the two eyes that could like essentially become people, right?
Yeah,
Or,
no,
like, stand as
it
for
was
people.
really
2
good.
years ago at E3,
Yeah, it's really good
we pulled
integration
the
with the
curtain back
Mii's.
on Nintendo
Yeah,
DS.
that too.
And many said, huh? Last year at E3, we uncaged Nintendogs. And many asked,
Uncaged.
really?
Good
Then
job,
9
Reggie.
months ago at the Tokyo Game Show, we revealed how we, from Nintendo, will change game control forever. And a lot of people said, well, we'll see. Fair enough. Because today, you will see. And tomorrow, you'll start to feel. Welcome to the next leap in gaming and Nintendo's
True.
2006 media briefing, where we have answers to some questions, but deliberately not to all. Because our purpose this week is not to fill your left brain with information, but to jolt your right brain with inspiration. Let me start with a couple of questions for you.
Okay.
Do you know anyone who's never watched TV?
No.
Never seen a movie?
No.
Never
No.
read a book?
No.
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 Of course not. So let me ask you one more question. Do you know someone, maybe even in your own family, who's never played a video game?
I believe so.
I bet you do.
Yeah.
How can this be? If we want to consider ourselves a true mass medium,
But also
if
can't
we
really
want to
confirm.
grow
At the
as an
time,
industry,
definitely.
this has to change. And today, change begins here with a new console, just as it already has with a new handheld. To let me explain, let me begin with what I'm guessing are a few of the main questions on your mind. First, the system. Why did you make it so different?
I mean,
And by
yeah,
the way,
it is very different.
How much will it cost, and when can I get it?
Oh boy, time to dunk on Sony.
Oh yeah, and what's the backstory about that name? And finally, what about the games, and which developers are on board with us? As many of you know, Nintendo's way is to challenge conventional thinking, not just for the sake of doing things differently, but to do things better. The graveyard of any industry is filled with the headstones of companies who decided to keep doing things the same old way, playing only on the margin, making things just a little bit better. That strategy works for a while, but ultimately it's fatal. Over the
Okay,
years,
Reggie.
our industry has come to accept progress simply by what's on the screen. I know many of you were in our audience back in 1996
We
when
were.
Super Mario 64
I think.
came
Yeah.
to life in true 3D.
Did we actually have that
And you said,
E3 96?
"Man,
I don't know if
that
we had a
looks great."
conference for that one actually.
But that leap to a revolutionary form of gaming.
You know what? I don't
wasn't
recall.
really
I don't
about the
remember.
looks.
I know there was a good
Even
few
then,
years where I
It
struggled
was about the feel.
finding any.
Moving your character and your viewpoint independently in any direction.
Regardless, I
all
was
in
there
real
for the
time.
video game, at the very least.
And the
Yeah.
memory of that moment was also the starting point for Wii. In the same way that Super Mario 64 changed everything, we asked, how do we make games that feel entirely new all over again? This week, every one of you will feel our answer. As for date and price, we believe it's in our best interest to keep the details private for just a while longer. But
Ooh.
for now, let me just restate that we will give you more fun for less money, and you'll be playing Wii in the
I
fourth
wonder
quarter
if they
of
had
2006.
a price in mind, but then they saw the Sony conference and they're like, you know what, we're gonna wait a bit and see if we can beat them.
I mean, it's possible.
Okay,
I also
next,
think-
the name.
I'm wondering if he knows, like, or if they're gonna talk about it just
The
later.
day you heard it.
I'm not too sure.
Maybe.
Wait, what was that?
Things about it the day you heard it. first,
Oh, wait.
we want to thank everyone who wrote good things about it the day you heard it.
I will just mention this. I will make mention of this right here. Yes, a lot of people did kind of poop on the name, right?
Yeah.
Mostly because it sounds like penis, right? Like, oh, you're wee, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know, we were very mature back then, you know?
Very mature.
So yeah, that was, so I assume that's what he's alluding to, is, a lot of people
Most
kind of
likely.
making fun of the name. It's still a good name, right? But to a lot of mature people like we were back in like the early to mid 2000s, it was very, very funny to have something called the Wii. I'll
Yeah.
play with my Wii, you know, like etc. Like it's so easy to turn into a gag for an immature mind.
Both of you. But seriously, the response didn't surprise us at all. At first, every distinctive name sounds strange. Did you love Lexus the first time you heard it? How about IKEA? How about Google? Change is good.
I mean, that is a good point though
We from
that he's
Nintendo
making.
means just what it sounds like.
Yeah.
We. It's the sound of inclusion, the sound of every gamer you know and every new gamer who's going to join us. It's a giant leap for gaming, for everyone around the world. It's the sound of the future.
And it was.
As for the last
Everybody
question,
played it.
what about the third parties? Well, we'll be talking about them in detail in just a few minutes and showing you much more on the show floor tomorrow. For now, let me just say that on behalf of the names you love from Nintendo and our partners, we can't wait to show you what's on the way.
So what are some games they're going to show off, and how many of them will be canceled?
Well, Metroid Prime 3 came out, so
That one
that's
definitely
good.
came out. already Nintendo doing one thing Sony could not. Dragon Ball Sparking. Sparking like Budokai, maybe. What's
I'm
Dragon
not
Ball
sure if
Sparking?
it's a
Wait, hold
different
on.
thing or not.
Hold on, I have not heard of Sparking, but it's 2, so I assume it has like a series. Let me see here.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Sparking. Oh, it's a part of the Budokai series,
Okay.
I guess. Oh, I guess there's a Sparking Zero literally coming out.
Oh. Okay, that's kind of funny.
Interesting. I don't know. I'm not too sure how related it is to Budokai, but I don't know. It just says part of the Budokai series, so interesting. Dragon Quest Swords.
Disaster Day of Crisis, huh? That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Fire Emblem.
Just Fire
I'm
Emblem.
pretty. Well, did they have a Fire Emblem on Wii?
I don't know. You know what? Let's play fair. Let's play fair here. Let's go and see how many of these actually did come out. Let's play kind of fair. The ones that I'm not too sure of, let's see if they came out. So Dragon Quest Swords, did this one come out? I don't know. I don't know anything about Dragon Quest really. So
I don't know a lot about Dragon Quest either, and I can't remember if there's a game on the Wii or not.
Dragon Quest Swords, The Masked Queen, blah blah blah. Okay, that one did come out. I mean, if I'm gonna poop on Sony here, I gotta give them a fair chance, right? To see like.
Yeah,
Let's see, so
that's
what's
fair.
one? Disaster, Day of Crisis. Day of Crisis. That one did come out. Adventure like and shooter. Interesting. Okay, Fire Emblem. Now, this, funnily enough, kind of reminds me of what I said during the Sony one. Where if it's just like, you know, a CG cutscene with like, what's clearly a placeholder name, that's usually not a good sign. So this might be one that maybe Fire Emblem Wii. Oh, well, Radiant Dawn, would this have been that one?
Was
I
that a
mean-
GameCube game?
Nah, 'twas not. It was a Wii game. apparently.
Hmm.
And it does say it came
Maybe?
out in... Oh, it's a sequel to Path of Radiance, which was a
Yeah, I'm
GameCube
probably
game.
thinking of Path of Radiance. Okay.
Okay, so that's probably what
Didn't know
this one
about that
is.
one.
Because this one came out in 2007 in Japan and 2008 in North America. So this one came out.
Okay.
Assuming it's the same one. SpongeBob came out, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Cars.
Cars
That one
would have
came
come
out.
Yeah.
This one definitely
Mario
came
Galaxy.
out.
I don't know. Are we sure about that?
I don't know, making me think now.
Maybe one day they'll do a Galaxy 3.
I see Gundam G-Breaker. This one probably came out as well, but let's just see, I guess. Gundam... was it G-Breaker?
I think so.
I don't know. This one I'm actually not too sure of because I don't have a wiki article on it. But it's Gundam. I mean, I guess maybe it came out because it has the thing on IGN. It did come out, yeah. December 2006. Okay, so this one did come out. Tony Hawk Downhill Jam did come out.
Yeah.
Sengoku Action. Okay, let's see. See, I know this is gonna be a long one just because of this, but I gotta see, right? Sengoku Action. Should probably add like game to it. Oh, damn, there's Sengoku Dynasty. I don't want that one. Wii. Probably. I can't find anything for Sengoku Action, but like I am. Oh, no. Hold on. Like I'm finding like a lot of Sengoku Basuras. What?
I would say if you type in Sengoku Action Koei, maybe it would pop up.
Maybe. Koei. I don't know. This one's a bit tough. This one's a bit of a tougher one. What if I just look up Koei? Like maybe that'll give me like a list of their games, and then I can at least see.
Yeah.
This is Koei Tecmo games. You always forget the Tecmo. Okay, so we're looking for somewhere around the 2007-ish. Can I like sort this? I can. Wait, I can even sort it by canceled. Hold on. Well, it's not under the list of canceled games, so it probably came out. It probably just came out under a different name. Maybe. Because, let's see. Okay, do they have any Wii games on here? For like the 2006-2007 year. Man, they put out a lot of different types of games.
Yeah, Koei does publish a lot of games.
I always forget that. Puna. Hack and slash. So I guess it would have been called Samurai Warriors Katana. I guess. That's the only one I see here that seems to match it. All right, another. Oh no, I know this one. Oh my god, I know this one. I'm pretty sure. I don't. Fuck. What's the name of it? It's actually a game I want to buy at some point. What's the name of this one? Cause I know it's not Necronesia. Yeah, Escape from Bug Island. as we know it here in the West. This one was horrible. I think it's considered one of the worst games of all time. It's really bad, but I really want to like buy it one day. It's like awful. I should show you a review of it sometime.
Yeah, I'd like that because I've never heard of it. So.
See, this is where my knowledge of really obscure kind of poo-poo games comes into play. How much even is it? Hold on, I'm kind of curious. Escape. I should add that one to my list, actually. Why haven't I done that?
You should, before you forget.
I should. I might even have it on there and just kind of forgot. Because how much is it, like, on price charting? It's $21 complete. I should keep an eye out for that one when we go to local game store. I should keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
You know what? Here. I will add it to my list right now. In fact, I should remove some stuff from the list too, but I'll do that later because that's going to take a little bit more time.
Yeah.
Escape from Bug Island. There you go.
Island.
Excite Truck. I'm pretty sure that came out. I think I recall Excite Truck. Elabits definitely came out.
Wasn't that a DS game, or is this a different one?
You know what? Well, see, cause I remember Elabits. It could be a DS game.
Like I've definitely heard of the DS game. I just don't know if that's the same game or if that's something else.
It did come out on Wii.
Okay, so maybe it has both, or maybe the DS game's like a sequel or something. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Now you got me wondering if you're just crazy.
No, I don't think so.
And then there's the doubt creeping in.
I don't know. Last I checked, I wasn't crazy, but that could have changed from this morning.
I mean, I don't know. I'm only seeing this thing here that says, according to producer Shingo Mukaitoge, Elabits began development almost immediately after Nintendo first demonstrated the Wii hardware to Konami employees.
Okay.
So I don't know, Megan. Maybe you're just a little crazy in this case. Let me look up DS. Did you see Elabits DS? It does have a DS game.
I was gonna say, because I know about that one. It's been on my list to buy for a while. I just haven't got around to it.
But the one on the DS is the sequel to the one on the Wii.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I just heard Elabits on the DS was pretty good.
Well, there you go. And I have Elabits on the Wii as well.
Where's my money going?
Rayman 4.
Rayman 4. See, this probably got turned into rabbits.
Look at that. It begins.
Yeah.
So
Whoever
weird.
came up with the bunny was cursed, man. Like, what were they thinking?
I mean, see, like, that's kind of the problem, right? Like, it's cursed because it ruined Rayman for a long time. Rayman did kind of eventually make a comeback, but the rabbits became their own thing. Like, they really overshadowed Rayman.
They did. I would argue they still do.
Yeah, I would argue they still do as well. People are going to know what the rabbits are. People aren't going to know what Rayman is, generally. Right?
Yeah, because we haven't got, like, a proper Rayman game since Rayman Legends, I believe. So...
probably.
It's been quite a while since we've had, like, a traditional Rayman game.
Nice Rayman. Super Swing Golf.
Super Swing Golf. Yeah.
This one I think actually did come out. Sonic Wildfire. Wildfire?
That must have been renamed. Is this like Sonic the Secret Rings or whatever?
I mean, maybe. I've never heard of Sonic Wildfire. This could be the first cancellation.
Ooh.
Sonic Wildfire. Oh, wait. Yeah, it's Sonic and the Secret Rings. So they did change it. That's interesting. I thought so. Secret Rings is better than Wildfire by like a lot.
Yeah.
Project Hammer. Do I recall Project Hammer? I might actually. This one I'm pretty sure actually did come out. Project Hammer. Wii. Well, wait, it just it was a beat 'em up.
Oh, so it got canceled. Okay, Nintendo's got one. They're still doing good.
They got one. So they got one. But see, here's the thing too, though. This is like one in a montage, which I think should count for like maybe half or even a quarter of like Sony's. Because they're kind of the ones who are like, this is a game that's coming out. And
Yeah.
then it goes up on the big screen. They make a bigger deal out of it. This one's in a montage, right? So,
Yeah.
So I'd argue not quite as damning. Final Furlong may have come
Revolution.
out. One Piece
One Piece Unlimited Adventure.
This one I think did come out.
Yeah.
Madden definitely came out.
Yeah. I do wonder what it's like to play Madden on the Wii, though. That one definitely came out. I saw that one at Game Store the other day, actually.
This one came out.
I like how they had no title for that. It's like Link stands, or it doesn't need any introduction.
Yeah, right. Like that's true. Like to be fair, I wouldn't have been surprised if they didn't give one to Mario either.
Recognize that last game.
Yeah, so there you go. Yeah.
It's called The Legend of Zelda. But this one
Twilight
is different.
Princess Reggie. You didn't have the sub card.
It is by far the best Zelda
That's
game
true.
we've ever made. And it's also the most beautiful game Nintendo has ever made.
It did look really nice.
But just as importantly,
Yeah.
it's breaking precedent. Because this is the first Zelda game that will be right there on launch day alongside a new Nintendo system.
A system that very few people could buy.
Yeah.
Not because of any reason other than it just flew off the
I know
shelves.
you'll make that judgment for yourself. But
Yeah,
there's
they
no
had
better
production issues for
time
quite a
for
while
first
after the Wii
look
came out, from what I
than right
understand.
now.
Yeah.
So please welcome Nate and Bill from Nintendo of America to host the world premiere of The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, playing on the new Wii.
Woo woo.
Thank you, Reggie. Good morning, everyone. Are you ready?
Good morning. Yeah,
Reggie and
let's
I
go.
are very happy and honored to be able to show all of you exactly how you're going to be playing Zelda this year on Wii. Very basic control is going to be very familiar to anyone who's ever played a Zelda game. Your movement is handled with the analog stick on the nunchuck. Link's arsenal of items is going to be mapped to the plus control pad on the Wii remote. And Zelda's patented targeting system will be handled using the Z button, also on the nunchuck in the left hand. But the Wii version of Twilight Princess takes advantage, of course, of the unique controller. It provides new, unique, and intuitive feel to the gameplay. And that's what makes it great. The first thing you'll notice on screen in the Wii version is the presence of a fairy. This fairy indicates where you'll be pointing with the Wii Remote's pointer.
Hey,
You'll use this on a
listen.
very basic level to access all of your menu screens.
Yeah.
Select your items.
I'm glad I didn't
It's
do
very
that.
Intuitive. It's very nice. It's
Yeah.
very easy to use, and I think you're all going to like it. But, you know, menus aren't that exciting, so why don't
I
we
don't
get
know.
into some of the
Maybe it's
more
because I'm a
intense
90s
battles?
kid, but like even just hearing
Your
the
basic
lines and
sword
stuff when I'm
swings
playing
are
Ocarina
handled
of
using the
Time,
B
it
button
brings
on
me
the
a little bit
bottom
of
of the Wii
nostalgia.
remote.
It does. Like I will say, I
But of
never had a
course,
problem
not
with
all of
Navi.
your enemies are going to be within range.
I never did either.
actually found
You're
Navi
gonna have to
annoying.
get at from a distance. And that's where Link's bow comes in handy. Like all distance weapons, the bow is going to be aimed using the pointer on the Wii remote.
Yeah, very nostalgic to hear Navi lines.
Yeah.
Now, as Nate's showing us here, as you aim, there's a circle in the center of the screen. Within that circle, your targeting cursor moves independently. Outside it, the camera moves with it. The beauty of this control scheme is that it's intuitive. You know, there's no more inverted shooting, just point and shoot. And it adds realism to the game. It feels like you're actually aiming with a bow. It's not some controller. Now, with the bow, the Wii Remote also adds depth of sound.
Man, it looks like a
And this
very
is where we
tight
can
cord on
finally
that
start
thing.
to unveil some of the secrets
Yeah.
that still remain about the controller. Built into the Wii Remote is a speaker. You'll hear the bowstring draw taut. You'll hear the flip of the arrow. And then you'll hear that sound travel from your hand.
Yeah, something
to
that
the
controllers
TV,
have
where that
adopted
arrow
now.
will plunge
At
into
least the
chest of your
PlayStation ones
enemy.
have.
Yeah.
Little microphone and the
That's
controller
depth
for
of
that.
sound that no other controller and no other system
Yeah,
can
some
offer.
games definitely
And I
do
know
it
that
better
other
than others,
developers
but
already have
it's definitely
a whole
getting
lot of
better
very
over
unique
time.
ideas about how to take advantage of this feature. Now here we have Nate showing us some more intense battle. And as I mentioned, basic sword swing is on the B button. But you're also going to be using the motion sensing capabilities of the Wii Remote. A quick jab with the Wii Remote, and Link does a shield shove,
Bonk.
knocking your enemy silly. And the great thing is you feel the impact of that shove with the built-in rumble feature. Now watch Oh, Nate's already taken care of him, so we'll do that later.
Good job, Nate. You're too
Boomerang,
good.
You'll also be using the pointer to aim. So what we're going to show you here is some basic Zelda puzzle solving. It's the same type of thing that you've come to experience in Zelda games, the same type of thing you've come to expect. Twilight Princess is going to feature a great deal of it. And of course, the classic Zelda chime is also going to be heard on the speaker on the Wii Remote. Now what we're showing you here today is just a very simple, stripped-down version of a single dungeon.
That's looking a little
Tiny area
awkward.
of a single dungeon, and probably what's
Little
going to be
bit.
one of the greatest Zelda games
Ow.
ever.
Oh,
See,
you
no,
put on the
understand-
iron boots.
He did.
Nate can take care of these
I was
guys
on
in
point
the
out. Notice how
room.
Link actually did take damage.
Oh,
No
Nate.
God mode on for this
Yeah.
bad boy.
Oh, you're the only person in America who's played this
Oh.
game and you still can't do this?
Oh.
Come on.
Come on, Nate.
Get
One other thing
good.
you can do is you can pick up crates with the A button on the Wii Remote, and then when you want to throw them at your enemy, you just give a quick chuck with the nunchuck. So like
I kinda
mentioned,
forgot they had
the
that,
nunchuck,
actually.
Obviously, again, has
Yeah.
built-in motion sensing capability, independent of the Wii Remote. You've got two different controllers, two different motion sensors, and that allows for a lot of freedom with unique control styles. You'll notice here that Link's iron boots also make a return. But these boots aren't just going to weigh you down this time around. If you watch here, they're actually going to lift you up.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Magnets can be
I don't think
fun.
I got far enough in Twilight
Who
Princess
knew?
to actually do this.
Oh yeah.
So again,
I don't
Yeah.
remember if I did.
It's just a very
feel like I
compact
would've.
dungeon.
I know I would have
It's also been
stopped
toned down
before
to
like what would have been the
because I wanna
water
make sure
temple
that all of you
equivalent.
out there who have never played a Zelda game,
Yeah,
I'm sure there's
I'll be
plenty.
honest, I don't quite remember.
make it
Like,
to
I
the
remember
end.
getting to Kakariko Village and
But
doing
now that we've
stuff
talked
there,
about
but
the
I don't know
basics,
how
we'll kind
far
of let
past
Nate
that
run
I
through and
got.
show us some more intense battles, and then take you to the end and see what else we have to show you. Again, quick little jab for the shield. Quick rotation
Good.
for the spin attack, you'll notice there. Also on the nunchuck.
Ah, neat. That's pretty
There's a little
cool.
more puzzle solving.
Yeah.
So again, quick rotation with the nunchuck for the spin attack, and then you just stab down with the nunchuck, and Link will do his down thrust, finishing your enemies off. And let me tell you, that feels really good.
That's a lot of dudes. That's so
Fine, he's
satisfying.
fun. Got them all.
I love that. Now, because you're all big Zelda fans out there, we don't want to spoil everything for you. So we're not going to show you what waits behind that door, but I'm sure you all know
Oh
it's got to
man,
be something
it's
horrible.
probably the boss
Ooh.
room.
I think
But
it's the
don't
boss
worry,
room.
if you're not a Zelda fan and you can't quite handle all that action, also on the show floor, you're going to be able to kick back lakeside and enjoy some nice, relaxing fishing.
Nice.
But you're all going to have to bring your own beer. So we'll see you on the show floor tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Boo, thank you. Good
You know, the
demonstration.
idea of getting drunk and just playing like fishing in Zelda is kind of funny to me.
Yeah, honestly, it sounds like a good time.
This Zelda, of course,
It
is
does.
the first ever to feature unique freehand control. But tens of millions of Nintendo GameCube owners around the world will also be playing this game on their systems. That's because here in the Americas, Nintendo will launch two different versions.
Yeah,
One
there they
for
go.
GameCube and another for Wii.
Still-
on the same day our
Still
new
really
console
strange, but it
launches.
makes sense. But
Even as
I do
technology
consider the
I
Wii the
mean-
definitive edition
one
of the
thing
game.
will never change.
It is.
The
It's
name
probably
of the
just a
game
case where they got
is
far
still
enough
games.
into development of the
How
game
many
on the
times have you heard
GameCube that they
Nintendo say
decided
it?
it was worth to release on
But
both.
actions
Maybe.
speak louder than words. So let's look at some games.
Oh yeah, games
Samus is back,
again.
and Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. You'll not only do more running and gunning, but both the Wii Remote and Nunchuk controllers, each with its own motion sensor, will pump up your heart rate like never before. It's both the new Metroid and the most intuitive first-person shooter ever. And Mario is back too.
Woo!
Woo!
Good game is Galaxy. I never actually
His
finished
brand
it.
new adventure for Wii is called Super
Yeah, I've
Mario
never actually
Galaxy.
played it.
Really?
Been on the list for a
Freehand
long time.
control.
Okay.
Mr. Miyamoto has given Mario moves he's never had before. Swing your hand to bat away objects, grab onto shooting stars with the pointer, swim through space, and skip along the stratosphere. We said this new system represents the next leap in gaming. But can it truly be new if all the names are the same? Of course not. That's why we're hard at work on new franchises to expand our portfolio. And we like to give you 3 early previews this morning.
Ooh, I want to see it.
First up is Excite Truck. Most of you recognize the pedigree. But what
Yeah,
you
Excite
won't
Bike, yeah.
recognize is the method of control. Remember how you always tilted the controller like handlebars when you played Excite Bike? Well, now you're holding the steering wheel of a big damn truck.
Damn,
And the
Reggie
terrain
swore.
deforms beneath
Kind of.
you in real time. This
big
feels
damn truck.
like driving. Next, isn't it just fun to bash things?
Okay, well.
In Project Hammer.
Okay,
swing
now
the
this is a
controller
proper
and
point
the
off.
bad guys get nailed.
Yeah.
But what happens if the bad guy is Mother Nature?
Ah, yeah, fuck
Survive
Mother Nature.
or not, it's your call in disaster, day of crisis.
It just says disaster there, Richie.
I would say it's just disaster now,
Come
apparently.
feel the pain
Apparently.
and bring the catastrophe under your control. Obviously, game creation inside Nintendo is important. But just as important is what's coming from our great third-party partners around the world. Independent developers have been hard at work in Japan. And although we won't be spending a lot of time today detailing their projects, we did want to underscore a couple of excellent examples. When Sega saw the new control system, they said, it's time to put Sonic back into gear.
Hypersonic again,
Finally, the
it's
Speedster
different.
is totally
It is,
under
you're right.
your control.
Weird.
Huh.
Look up, the mothership is about to land, and Square Enix is arriving with an exclusive
Crystal
iteration
Chronicles.
of its legendary series.
One day I want to
with
get this
Final
game.
Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. Yet again, we will take what is familiar and reinvent it. And Hallmark franchises are also on the way from this side of the Pacific. You may be a veteran All-Pro playing EA's Madden Football, but with freehand control, reinventing everything from the snap to the drop back to the pass to the run after the catch.
See, I've
You'll
never
feel
played a
like
Madden game on the
rookie
Wii, and I don't think
all
I'd really
over
want
again.
to.
Yeah.
And grinders know it's all about balance. And with Activision's Tony Hawk, we will transmit that reality right to the palms of your hands. And Rayman's traveled to many platforms for Ubisoft over the last 10 years. But if you think you know
Even had the
Rayman,
rabbit in the
wait
logo.
until you see him with
Oh.
Wii.
That makes sense.
And THQ
It does.
SpongeBob also gets the makeover he's always longed for with freehand control. There is great stuff on the way. And while we're not going to specify a launch number this morning, you'll be playing 27 different Wii games tomorrow on the show floor.
I mean, that's a lot. Reggie's like, yeah, I got him.
And seeing even more on video. And remember, that 27 number includes none of the titles which will be available with our virtual console. Until you get the controller in your hand, you're nowhere near feeling what this is all about. Today, all we can do is show you examples. So let's bring another one to life right here on this stage. I'd like to introduce Xavier Poix and Roman Campos Aurelia from Ubisoft in France to take you through the new franchise exclusive Red Steel.
You know, I have a sealed copy of Red Steel that I've never opened. I don't know
Oh,
why.
yeah?
Because I was always looking forward to Red Steel. Like when I saw this here at E3, I was like, oh, it's so cool. You move the sword and it actually looks real. But I never ended up getting it.
Ubisoft's Nintendo Wii
exclusive launch.
Well, I mean, I eventually got it, but I never played it when I did.
Red Steel is the first
'Cause I got it, like, years later.
set in both USA and Japan, in which
Yeah.
the player will have to learn to master
Like it definitely
both
looks like a really
modern
cool game.
firearms
With the
and
power of
Katana
hindsight,
sword,
though, I do know that
taking,
generally
of
it's
course,
considered
full
a pretty
advantage
mediocre
of the Wii
game.
controller.
Yeah,
Roman, as you can see, is
It got a
using
sequel, didn't it,
the
though?
nunchuck
It did. It
controller
did
in
get a
his left
sequel.
hand to move, and
Yeah.
he's able to look around and to fire his gun with the other controller simply by pressing the trigger button. With the Wii controller, you can handle the gun the way you want, and at the first time, simply by moving your hand, like in real life. So
Yeah, it really
if you
does
want to
not
play
have
youngster
the
style,
strap,
you
huh?
can.
maybe you're right. Maybe that
Yeah.
was something that just kind
And
of
it's
came
the
later.
same to open a door, as you have seen earlier, there is no button to push.
That's what it kind
Do
of
it
seems like to
you do
me.
at home,
The very
just turn
late
your hand
addition to it, because
or
otherwise,
push
why
the
would it
door
just be a
very
strap
hard.
and not attached to the controller itself, right?
For the very
Yeah.
first time in the game,
Yeah, honestly, what it
you
might
will
be
really
is maybe
feel
they
like
just.
both your hands have entered the screen.
It's probably something
You
they
are in
were
the game.
hopefully always intending of having on.
As you can
But
see
for something like this,
the
like,
demo,
you know, you're gonna have very select people like using it, right?
show at least.
To demonstrate stuff. Maybe they're like, it's not necessary to have it
normally
made like
many
quite
graphical
yet
details.
for the controller.
I
Sort
mean,
out all the other
probably,
things
but-
first.
Comes back. Yeah.
But to be fair, like it might actually be on like the ones on the show floor
So I don't know
itself.
if we were thought that
True, that's
you have
true.
many graphical details from destructible environments,
They can probably trust the people
explosions,
presenting to not throw
real-time
it at the
physics,
screen.
Yeah.
soft bodies, which really help to create an immersive experience for the player. So this is a little warm-up with enemies before we go into more details. So now let's play Pachinko. The
Pachinko.
game will feature a variety of handguns and semi-automatic weapons, shotgun of course, as you will see. And now we'll be speaking more precisely about IA in the game. So once again, destructible environments and enemies, surprisingly in a game, really care for themselves. That means that depending on their level of trust, they will hide themselves, they will go for cover, and they will try to attack you
Jesus.
from the back and try, of course, to control the situation. That will help
See, the fact
keep
I'm not
the
seeing any
action
like health bar kind of UI makes me think this might also be like a god mode kind of thing, which is fair once again. If so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like to point it out.
We also have a system of AI.
Well, he's at
to
least
control
using
the
ammo.
clan system.
He is.
That means that when the enemies have a leader, they will rely on him. So if he has been disarmed by the player, or if he has been killed, sorry, then they will act differently.
Ooh, take the shot. Nope. He's not coming out.
So now Roman is going to show us a feature of the game which is called the freeze shot. This feature will be very useful in tricky situations.
It must be so interesting to be like the guy that plays the game on
The
stage.
player will be able
You
to
probably
freeze
do like a
time,
decent amount of
and then
practice
will be able
beforehand.
To tag weak points on enemies.
Probably, yeah.
You then will have to choose between killing those enemies.
I wonder who
or
they
making
choose to
them
do it.
submit to you.
If it's like a random thing, or if it's just like, hey, do you want to have the pressure of going up there and showing this off? Yeah, okay.
In this
It's
scene, you'll be
probably
able to
not
see the
random.
freeze shot.
They probably do a lot to make sure they play it and show what they want to show.
Once again,
Well, I
this
mean,
is
like
the
who
most
picks it,
everywhere
like
in
who
the
plays
game.
it on stage, right?
Well, I know, but still, it's probably
One-
very
one
deliberate.
will tag the weak points, disarming or killing. So as you have seen, he kill a man and then the boss is submitting to you. Then you can decide on what you want to
Ah.
do. Sit down, for instance, like this. Just simply by moving your left hand to indicate what you want
Oh,
him
that's
to do.
neat.
We have God rays.
That's cool.
Oh, Little surprise, collateral damage on the boss. Morman will have to take on his next enemy, and for that he will have to draw his sword.
Katana fight.
So once again, the moves you have to make for the sword fighting are very intuitive. You can block with your left hand and slash with your right hand in any direction. That means that you will have dozens of combinations to do.
Ooh, sick
It
dodge.
should be very easy to handle, thanks to the Wii controller, but of course very hard to master. Thanks a lot for letting
Finish
us
him.
introduce you to Red Steel, even if we had some
Okay, never mind. He's
small
submitted.
problems. But everybody will be able to play it tomorrow at the Nintendo booth. Thanks a
I
lot.
guess he can live.
Thank you, Xavier and Roman, for the demonstration. We want to switch gears now from what's going to be hot tomorrow to what's hot right now, Nintendo DS. Please welcome our Senior Vice President of Marketing and Corporate Communications, George Harrison. George?
Yeah, there he comes. Okay, that's kind of neat. It's a fun way to come out on stage.
What
That
we're giving you
is.
today is a promise. No matter who you are, gamer, developer, publisher, retailer, we will make things better. Well, what makes us think that Nintendo can deliver? Well, above all, one thing, Nintendo DS. Our long-held strategy of disruption became reality when we launched DS 18 months ago. Since then, true gamers have bought into true hardware disruption.
True
and
gamers. Megan, you were a true
software
gamer.
disruption. It's a different approach to portable play.
Well, yeah, I didn't
Now,
have
we're
a
not gonna
DS
spend too
until
much time
like
today drilling
2007.
down
I
on
got
the
it for my
sales
birthday
numbers.
that
Okay,
year.
never mind. You were
But a
not a
little
true gamer.
clarity is in order.
But I got Pokemon
The DS
Diamond with
launched
it.
at the end of 2004, and it did very well.
Fair.
Then the PSP arrived. And
'Cause
some
I
of
got
you
the DS
questioned
Lite,
if we
so-
were up to the challenge. But once all the early adopters cleared away, it became clear that a matter of games, it's always a matter of games, as it always is. And what's revived the portable market is what only the DS delivered. Things players had never seen before. Nintendogs, the brain games, seamless portable Wi-Fi play. The result is this. In terms of actual sell-through to players, the DS has sold more than 16 million units worldwide since its
That is a
launch
lot.
just 18 months ago.
That is a lot, yeah.
Now, independent sources put total worldwide PSP sell-through to consumers at millions less. Millions
Your PSP.
less.
Never stood a chance.
But even more important is our growing momentum. First came Nintendogs. More than 6 million copies were sold
Doing
to
the
players
Pokemon and
around
giving
the
you 3
world
different
in just
versions.
13 months. Then we launched Nintendo Wi-Fi Connection, the most accessible game network ever created for dedicated gameplay. Easy and free is a pretty persuasive offer.
Not
And the
great
player
from what I
response
understand, though.
Proves it. 1.3 million discrete Wi-Fi connection users so far, totaling over 40 million gameplay sessions.
That's quite a
All
lot.
this in less than half a year. But maybe the strongest wave of all has just reached our shores. 3 weeks ago, the first brain game launched here in North America. This, after the 3 versions in Japan sold through to more than 5 million players. Over a third of them over the age of 35. Now, it's too soon to tell if our ultimate success will match Japan's. But we do know that our sales of Brain Age over the first 3 weeks, now totaling about 120,000 units, is even more than what we saw in Japan. And we expect to leverage that same appeal with a wider spectrum of games that we're calling touch generations. Beyond the brain games, upcoming games like Clubhouse games and Sudoku.
Okay, I do know
Ringmaster
about
will
those
further our
two.
reach to include people who've never felt comfortable.
Not counting the
with
brain games, I know
before.
about those.
For DS, we're simply not letting up. And in just a few weeks, the newest handheld sensation arrives here in America. Nintendo
DS
DS
Lite?
Lite. It's
There you go.
lighter and brighter than the original.
There you go, Megan. That's
And if
yours.
the Japan experience is any teacher,
Yeah,
it
it's
will be
such a
even more
nice little thing. I
popular
love my
than the
DS Lite.
original. In only a week, you'll be playing an all-new Mario game,
That's a fun one.
which is the very picture of old school. The environments, the characters, and motions look familiar, but with new spinning blue shells and the ability for 2 players to pit Mario against Luigi wirelessly, this is a brand new Mario game, which will appeal to brand new players. The Pokemon are coming too. In Pokemon Blue Mystery Dungeon for the DS,
Ah, I
and the
love those
companion Red
games.
Mystery Dungeon for the Game Boy, you don't play with the Pokemon,
You are the Pokemon.
These
See, I
games,
always
which have
loved
already sold
this,
through 1.4
like
million
the
copies in
advertising
just 6
campaign they
months in
did for this
Japan,
game because
arrive
like the way
here
they did
on
the box
September
art, they
18th.
like worked together. They had a
Now, other
display
Hall
where
of Fame
they'd have
Nintendo names
them
are
like
also
imitating
on
the
the way.
box art, and
Mhm.
like it was also one of the only Pokemon games that came out on Game Boy Advance and the DS at the same time.
Uh-huh.
And I like the Mystery Dungeon games. I'm sure everybody who's kind of familiar with me would know that, but those 2 in particular were some of my favorite games.
And I mean, perfectly understandable, right? I still need to play them at some point.
You do.
That's really interesting. I was looking up Diddy Kong Racing because I know one of them got canceled. I might be thinking of the one on the GameCube actually that we saw ages ago. Not GameCube.
Yeah.
Yeah, GameCube that we saw ages ago. But I couldn't remember if this one came out. I guess this Diddy Kong Racing did come out. But funnily
It
enough, canceled in Japan.
Oh, really?
Don't know why, but came out everywhere else. That's really strange, actually. Yoshi's Island 2. I don't know if that one came out. Did it?
I don't know.
Yoshi Island 2. See, I'm going to be a lot more unfamiliar with these DS. This one did come out. Well, it's called Yoshi Island DS. So, yeah, they changed the name. Star Fox DS, I'm pretty sure came out.
including Yoshi,
I think so.
Star Fox, and Diddy Kong. And I know that if you're a Final Fantasy fan here in the West, there's always been something missing in your life. Final
Ooh,
Fantasy III
finally.
will prepare to be fulfilled. The
Yeah.
legendary title.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, because, you know, some of you might be too young to know, right? We here in the West never originally got Final Fantasy 3. Our Final Fantasy 3 was something else. Really weird, right? Like it's one of those things that you would not see ever like again, right? Like in the modern era, you'd never get something like that again. But back then, I don't know why they weren't released in North America. But because it was Final Fantasy 2 and Final Fantasy 3, I believe that didn't come out, right?
I think so, yeah.
And that was for a long time. And I guess this is them going like, "Hey, it's finally happening."
Yeah.
Because back then, like, who would know, right? Like that's kind of the thing, you know, like, and that's why it can't happen nowadays. Because if that happened nowadays, people would go like, "Why? No, give it to me." You know, why?
Give me the game.
Give me the game. Why are you not like releasing it simultaneously worldwide, right? But back then, in the old like Nintendo era, nobody knew, right? Internet was like non-existent. You know, all you had was hearsay. Like there might be rumors, like, oh, you know, there's a Final Fantasy 2 and 3 in Japan, but it's like, wow, nah, it's crazy, right? Who would know? You know what I mean? Like it's, you know, it's like one of those schoolyard rumors that you'd hear about.
America on the DS.
Yeah.
Complete with a compelling storyline, but made
I guess
even
that's
better
kind
with
of a
improved
result
3D
of the internet
graphics.
becoming more prominent. People kind of know what's
And one
happening in
more
other
legend is
places of the
also
world
going
easier.
global.
Yeah.
Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam has him recruiting the best downhill skaters from around the world.
See, I didn't know this had
And
a
you can also
DS
connect
game.
directly to
That's
best
I
funny.
didn't
Hawk
know that
players
either,
around the
actually.
world. And thanks to the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection, you can chat on voice over IP at the same time.
Yeah, I just want to pause here real quick too, because I want to point out how funny, like, how it's funny how different game Tony Hawk is from real life Tony Hawk, right? Game Tony Hawk, he's recruiting skaters to do stuff. He's going out in the world and doing all these things. Real life Tony Hawk can just go down the street and go to a skate park. No one recognizes him. He just literally lives like a normal human being, right?
Yeah, I do find it funny with how famous he is that he seems to have that kind of effect where people just don't recognize him.
Yeah, right. Like, I always love the tweet that I think it was a tweet that he put out where it's like, yeah, going down to a skate park. Yeah, I'll actually see if I can like find it real quick because I want to see if I can quote it properly. I think it's really funny, and I know you don't use Twitter, which is good.
I do not.
Is this it? No. Wait, is this it? Yeah, this is it. Okay. So Tony Hawk tweeted this like I think a while ago. Kid at a skate park as I arrive. You a good skater? Tony Hawk says, sometimes. Kid says, you ever been here? Tony Hawk says, no. Kid says, you travel a lot? Tony Hawk says, yeah, perhaps too much. Kid says, are you a YouTuber? Tony Hawk says, no, I'm just a skater and a dad. And then the kid says, want to see me do a jump? And Tony Hawk says, absolutely. And then he shot a picture of the kid doing a jump. It's like that's such a fun interaction. I don't know. I like Tony Hawk like a lot. I think Tony Hawk's a cool guy. And
He always seemed like a cool guy, yeah.
Yeah, and I just love the idea of like the kid like it's like, oh, you a good skater? He's like, yeah, sometimes. Literally one of the most famous skateboarders of all time. And he's just like, yeah, sometimes I'm a good skater.
Yeah, occasionally.
Tony Hawk really does live the life, dude. Millionaire can just go outside and no one recognizes him. He can literally just live a normal life, you know?
Yeah.
But yet,
he's pretty lucky in that regard.
Yeah, right? But yet in video games, he recruits skaters all around the world to like partake in like downhill jam sessions.
Perhaps best of all, DS is also getting its own exclusive Zelda title. The Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass.
Interesting. Never played it.
DS stylus to direct sailing.
It's a pretty fun game. I've actually played it a few times. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite Zelda game, but it's pretty fun. Spirit Tracks is better though.
There will be more than 100 new games from DS from now until the end of the year. Take a look.
Anyway, I'm even gonna just link you to that thing in case you want to see the picture that he took.
Yeah, okay. Mario Hoops 3-on-3. That one did come out.
That one did come out.
That one did come out.
This one I am pretty sure did come out. Obviously, I can't guarantee, but I'm pretty sure it did because I know Star Fox was live on the DS at least.
That one came out for sure.
That one came out for sure because I do actually have that one. One of the few DS games that I own. Elite Beat Agents!
Elite Beat Agents, that game is cool.
We actually saw this on a local game store recently too, didn't we? And you were like, man, it's only like $30. I thought it'd be a lot more.
Yeah,
like
I always thought
$30.
it'd be a lot more because it's kind of like a cult classic DS game. It's one of the very few like rhythm games on it, but it's really cool. And I'm just like, wow, it's really only $30? I thought it would have been a lot harder to find some more money.
And then it spawned Osu.
Yeah, kind of. Or at least the Japanese franchise it's based off spawned Osu.
I mean, true. That's a better way of putting it.
They changed it for the American audience. Pokemon Redemption!
I like how for this one, like all the other ones have like little interesting taglines. This one's just, you are a Pokemon. Speak with over 380 Pokemon. It's like, all right.
You say that, but this is the first time you can play as an actual Pokemon, okay?
Woo, I've always wanted to be an actual Pokemon.
Yeah, I always wanted to play as a Pokemon, man.
Damn, Charmander be talking.
Yeah.
I mean, it is cool. I do want to play it at some point. Yeah, even businessmen will play on Nintendo. Ah, March of the Minis, yeah. Another very good one. That I never played, but I know it was good. Did she just have, like, French bread? Is that like a baguette?
I guess I would say that, like, kind of just looks like a baguette, yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. See, I don't know anyone who, like, just has a baguette. Maybe because I'm not rich. But I know people that, like, just have baguettes, like, in their kitchen.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Satoru Iwata.
Yo, Iwata. I miss you.
Thank you, and good morning. When I became Nintendo president, we decided on new goal for our company. Expanding the total number of people who play games. In order to do this,
You did that.
we needed to target not only current gamers, but two different types of consumers. Those who once played but who had lost interest, and even those who had never played before. How would we do this? The industry has always tried to improve in the same direction with games that more gorgeous and more complex. But in order to approach lapsed or former gamers and non-gamers, these types of games cannot serve our purpose. The logical solution
Yeah, I do find
is
it
to
interesting how that was
reinvent
Nintendo's goal at
the
this point, was just to
relationship
expand
between
their
player
market,
and game,
right?
the
Yeah.
game controller interface. We
Which,
believe
once again, they
this
did in
approach
spades.
can appeal
Most popular
to a
system
much
that
broader
everybody
audience.
played.
Also
They
excite
succeeded in their
core
goal
gamers.
for sure.
This is important
They did,
because
yeah.
core gamers always represent our most important audience. Our first implementation was Nintendo DS. Like many disruptive innovations, at first, it confused some people. But these people began to understand
Yo,
when they
Nintendogs.
started to pet their puppies
Yeah.
with a stylus and talk to them through the microphone. Next in Japan, we launched the first of the brain games. They have already been played
I do
by
love how the
millions of
mascot
people
for the Brain
who
games is
never
literally
tried
just
video
Iwata
games
himself.
before.
Yeah, I know,
Many
right?
people in our industry thought these consumers
Core.
were impossible to reach. But now, the trend is spreading to the Western world. So, how do we continue this strategy with Wii?
Alright, going in the
One-hand
pocket.
control with the Wii remote is just like the touch screen of DS. It breaks down a barrier to non-gamers and lapsed gamers. For anyone, it is comfortable. In addition, most lapsed gamers have wonderful memories of games they used to play. The virtual console aspect of Wii
yeah.
will bring them together again. And
Smart.
the virtual console will also act as a living laboratory for a simple, intuitive game.
Because, yeah, actually, I guess, that makes a lot of sense, actually, to try to bring back old gamers with with the virtual console. Probably with the hope that they would then buy more Wii games, right?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't much of a thing back then. But, well, I mean, you had TVs that would still accept most inputs from some of the older consoles. I'm trying to think here. Because, like, back then, you wouldn't have had things like converters, right?
No.
Like, nowadays, the converters actually make it really easy. I mean, most of my consoles that from the old gens have a converter I can use for them, right?
Yeah.
For modern TVs and stuff. So I think back then it was a little bit harder to have like an old system on even a TV made around like the mid 2000s, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think, because I know my old like Super Nintendo, it had, at least I'm pretty sure it was my old Super Nintendo and not just like my Nintendo Entertainment System, my NES. It had this really weird like way you had to connect it to the TV, right? Which I don't think you could really do on a lot of TVs after a while. Like nowadays, it's fine because I have like say a cable for it that allows me to connect it to like modern TVs. But it had this like really weird like cable setup where you had to like screw it into like one of the like coaxial cable ports on a TV.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
It's really weird actually. And I don't remember, but I don't think it was compatible with some TVs, or at least not easily. So yeah, some old consoles were just total pain in the butt to actually set up on like a newer TV.
With the Wii remote control and the business model of the virtual console, maybe a game like Tetris can be feasible once again.
Little did he know Tetris 99 would eventually come out.
In the past 20 years, as
Yeah.
game systems improved
So it was still very
in
feasible.
functionality, there were also downsides. Among these, the startup time before gameplay begins is growing longer and longer.
And now it's
I
non-existent.
have been planning, developing,
Yeah.
and playing games for a long time, and I still love all of this. But these days, I am busier.
Which actually, that's a really weird thing for him to say, actually, considering in the Sony conference, when they bring up the HDD, they're like, loading times, now much shorter.
Often, I get frustrated.
But maybe he's talking about for the Wii specifically.
And sometimes, I just
Yeah, he's probably talking about for the Wii specifically.
And now that I know I can instantly stop or start playing my DS by just closing or opening the top, I think I am spoiled. Maybe this has happened to you too. If serious gamers find these delays frustrating, how can we ever expect the mass market to show more patience than we do? Unless we change, we can never increase the gameplay population. The Wii console will also help solve this problem. It can power up virtual console games and applications like our Opera web browser saved to Flash ROM, almost as fast as telephone or television, in just a few seconds. And let me describe one more hardware feature. No game console, no matter how powerful, serves any purposes when it is turned off. So, we designed our machine to provide owners a variety of services even when it seems like it is turned off. We will become the system that never sleeps. Using a design called WeConnect24, the console automatically enters standby mode without the fan running, but still operating key functions and using about the same power of a miniature light bulb.
How many are we talking for that light bulb?
Importantly, this means the Wii console can be constantly connected to the internet. For you hardcore gamers, this means developers can push a new weapon or vehicle or level to you even while you sleep. For beginning gamers, just
No Animal Crossing.
Is something like Animal Crossing.
Nice.
Anytime the console is in standby, they may return to find that a friend has visited their village and left a message or a gift. And other developers will configure their games so that players will receive the game elements or information that the designer wishes. And programmers won't need to write a single line of code. Networking software is included in the hardware. And developers can decide to add these functions at any time. What we are aiming for is a system that is new every day. Then, finally, the most difficult job is to reach people who have never played before. To approach them, we need to remove
How you do that,
several
Iwata?
walls.
What do you got to remove?
New controllers and the virtual consoles are important, but most important is software that these people will really want to play. These games would allow core gamers and non-gamers to happily and immediately compete against each other. What kind of game can do that? Among the examples we
Wii
will play
Sports!
tomorrow is
Taking the world
Wii
by
Sports.
storm.
Yeah.
This is a combination which will include tennis, golf, and baseball. in
Legit, Wii
one
Sports is
package.
actually really good.
It will be available on launch day.
Very simple. Maybe that's part of why it's good.
Beginning players.
I mean,
will
I guess
find
that's what they're trying to make the
with
point
the
of,
Wii
right?
remote Intuitive and
Yeah, it's a
appealing.
game that's simple enough that basically anyone can
Serious
pick it up and
gamers
play and have a
will
good time.
find it a surprising way to attempt something they already done many times before. Expanding the game audience with Wii means increasing the number of people in any household who are involved with games. Today, there are people who play and people who do not. We will help destroy that wall between them. Regardless of age, gender, and game experience, anyone can instantly understand Wii. And we can provide anyone with fresh, new experiences. Every day, there is something new. For everyone, every day. This is our answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Iwata.
Right now, there are 3,000 of you watching here in the audience, and a lot more online.
I was
We'd
one of
like
them.
Nothing better to invite you all up on stage to play. While we can't do that for everyone, we can make that happen for one person. As you know, we've been running an online sweepstakes with our good friends at AOL to choose the
Rest in
first
peace.
player in the world to get his or her hands on the controller. The random selection has given us 3 grand prize finalists,
Ooh,
and they're all here with us today in
Ooh.
the Kodak Theater.
wasn't me.
Mr. Miyamoto himself has chosen the winner at random, and he's put the name inside an envelope, just like it's always done up here at the Academy Awards. Now, please join me in welcoming Mr. Shigeru Miyamoto with the announcement of the final sweepstakes winner.
Now, I wonder if the winner of the sweepstakes still has his Wii.
I would hope so.
Thank you, Reggie. But before I pick the winner, I should explain how we will play. Tennis, anyone? Control is simple and intuitive. Even your mom can play. Just grip the Wii remote
See, he has the strap.
like a tennis racket.
Yeah.
I'll show you. Let me explain in Japanese. Toss up.
To serve, you just toss and serve. One swift stroke.
One hand,
You hit 4 hands.
one hand,
Forehand.
Forehand,
Backhand.
Robin,
You can swing low to high to hit lobs.
Top spin.
Twist the remote as you're swinging for topspin or backspin.
Oh,
Hopefully you'll keep it in
Miyamoto.
bounds.
あんまりね、I'm pro player あんまり上手じゃないんでね、
I'm not quite as good as I hoped at this game.
誰かに手伝ってもらおうと。
So let's see if I can find a partner who maybe is a little bit better than I am.
Then the winner is
Oh,
Scott Dyer.
Scott Dyer.
Scott Dyer.
How about that say?
Okay, I guess maybe he doesn't get the Wii, he just gets to play it on stage. But he gets to play with Miyamoto. Like, that right there is a memory.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
May I ask you to be my partner in the next game?
Yes. Where do you stand on the other side of Mr. Miyamoto?
レジさんもね、誰か相手がいるんじゃないですかね。
Why don't we, Reggie, why don't you come
Oh,
out? Do you have,
Reggie.
anybody that we could possibly play against?
Yeah, I think I could find someone to play. I think we're ready to go.
Oh.
Mr. Iwata, maybe this year I can just take the names and you can pick the,
Go ahead and
you
run
know.
your hand through the strap.
Yes, of course. That is my job.
Wow.
Nah, that's gonna be exciting. I mean,
Looks like we've
who's
got
gonna
Mr.
win?
Iwata both here on stage and in the
I
game.
mean, it's gotta be Miyamoto.
I mean, my bet is on Miyamoto and Scott. Yeah, it's Reggie. In Wii
Who's
form
that
or me
handsome
form.
And there's our winner.
Okay, いきます。
So we've got Mr. Miyamoto and his partner on the left side, and we've got Reggie and Mr. Iwata.
Oh, out.
So again, toss and serve. Look, forehand, backhand.
Oh.
Game point.
Uh-oh. As you can see, this is a quick, shortened version of tennis. 3 points and you lose. So let's see if our executive team here can make a comeback.
Oh.
No,
もう一回やりますか？
もう一回やります。
that was quick. Maybe we
need
should
a
give these guys
rematch.
another chance.
じゃあこっち言います。
A little rematch.
リマッチ。Come on.
Nice serve.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, Reggie.
Good.
Oh, very good.
You know, I would have
good.
thought you'd have a little more power in that, Reggie.
Man, Team Miyamoto and Scott's actually kicking booty. Man, I feel like Reggie's letting it water down, man. Oh, out.
Here we go.
Okay, it's your serve.
I sense a comeback.
Ooh.
Tied game.
Uh-oh.
頑張るぞ。よし。
Oh.
Wow. Mr. Miyamoto, you pulled it out
Nice.
in the end.
What a shot.
Very good.
That's me clapping for anybody that doesn't know.
勝ちました。
What a great match. Now, of course, Scott got his chance on stage here today, but all of you are going to be able to play tennis tomorrow on the show floor.
What
Just,
happened
be
to
sure wear some
Scott?
loose clothing so you can really get into it.
What
Yeah, I
happened to
wonder
this
how he's
man?
Very
doing.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.
Let's face it. The bottom line of every E3 is simple.
You know,
What's hot and what's
Yeah.
I'm gonna pause it here just because I want to hear Reggie, and we only got like a minute, so I may as well pause here. Idea here. I
Yeah.
wonder if that was partly to show how easy it was to pick up and play. Because you had the sweepstakes winner.
That's a good point.
You had never played the game before, I presume. Gets called up, and he looked pretty good playing it, right? He looked like he had a good time. I wonder if that's a very, like, one of those, like, subtle, kind of, like, worm in the brain of the viewer, right? Where it's like, huh, man, he didn't even know how to play it, and he got up there and he did it. Right? Very easily. I'm onto you, Nintendo. I'm onto
Honestly,
you.
That's pretty smart, because I was even thinking through there, I'm like, oh, they had to put out a sweepstakes because they only had 3 people to play that game. But they probably did that on purpose. You're probably right.
I'm willing to bet they did that on purpose. Right? I think that makes a lot of sense. Especially like having it at E3, right? Where it's going to be on stage, everybody's going to be watching. Clever. Very clever.
It's not. Here's our take. What's hot is the feel of the game. The look is secondary. What's hot is the next leap, not just a small step. It's hot if it's disruptive. It's not if it's predictable. The future of our industry is inclusion, not exclusion. It's about the heat of emotion, not the chill of technology. We know that the future is right here. We and the DS represent the same thing, risk. Risk allows progress. We're a company that doesn't run from risk, we run to it. Change is good. We were the disruptor 20 years ago, and we still are today.
The
DS
disruptor.
is only the latest example. We will come next. Every year, we hope you'll walk out of our media briefing saying, yeah, these guys are the hot story of the show. But you know what? Today, we're not asking that. Of course, we hope you like what you've seen so far. But in reality, we also know that seeing is just an impression. Playing is believing. Thank you all. We look forward to seeing you on our show floor tomorrow.
Alright. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like that. I did like that conference. I mean, you know, like, looking at it from the lens of Iwata, Reggie, and Miyamoto, what a team, indeed. Yeah, like, it's very iconic, like, especially if you're looking at it at the time and you're seeing, like, motion controls for the first time, because not everybody's gonna see the stuff from Tokyo Game Show, right?
Yeah.
So to see this stuff on stage, it's like, whoa. Like, holy crap, like, motion controls, you move and you control the game. This was mostly just a thing showing off, like, the Wii and what it can do, right?
Yeah.
And here's the thing, too, right? Every game that they show it with looks really impressive. You know what I mean?
It does.
Like, regardless of whether the game's, like, good or not later, like with Red Steel, as an example. It's like, you see this E3, you watch this conference, and you think, man, that's a really cool piece of technology, right?
Yeah.
At least that's what the thought was at the time, for me in particular, because I do remember seeing this and going like, wow, look at what you can do with that. And I'm pretty sure I, like, showed my parents, like, some of this too, like, after it was over, because it's such a unique and interesting thing, right?
It is, yeah.
So, you know, it's just so unique and so fun, and it's like, man, you can play tennis with it? And it looked really fun, right? So I think this was a pretty good conference overall. Once again, Sony did a good job as well, but in my personal opinion, just because of the Wii and how revolutionary it kind of was, and the fact that they were able to show off the technology of the Wii, I think this is probably a bit above Sony for me personally.
Yeah, I think I would agree. It was a good display of what the Wii can do, a good showcase of games, which only one was really confirmed to be canceled.
True, yes. That's another good mark to Nintendo.
And like they did have a fun presentation between like the different showcases they had. Like overall, I think it's a very good conference. I'm kind of curious to see how it's going to compare to Xbox, but I think it's definitely above Sony for sure.
Yeah, like I said, nothing wrong with Sony. Sony's was funny, right? Unintentionally. That's kind of the problem with Sony's, is they showed off some good stuff, but they were the meme conference of the year. For sure. But yeah, and then once again, you have the sweepstakes thing, which is really neat, and watching him play, it seemed fun. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that was all on purpose to get the brain
Probably.
thinking, hey, man, the game must be easy and fun to play.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very cool. Very cool. All right, anything else you'd like to say about it?
No, I think I'm good.
All right, so we'll be moving on to Microsoft next, and then I haven't looked into the show floors yet. I don't know if there are any good ones. I'll probably do that before we do the Xbox one. But, yeah. So I guess we'll see you guys there. So for now, though, thank you very much, everybody, for watching. We hope you all enjoyed. But for now, it is time we cue the outro. So Frag out, and we shall catch you guys later.
Bye.